Hey everyone, welcome to Buzzing About Romance. I am Becky, and joining me for this episode is Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, Becky.
And Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello.
And Leah. Hello, Leah.
Hi, Becky.
I'm just going to get out of the way because Jenny is wearing her meteorologist-ish shirt. I hope it's not snowing where you are. It is snowing here.
What?
It is snowing here.
We
New York City has 2 feet of snow, and the kids do not have school tomorrow.
Well, my kids don't have school tomorrow either, but it was already planned.
Did they not have President's Day off?
Well, they originally did, but then they ended up going because we had too many cancellations already. And I'm like, so why didn't we
But what?
go on
But
this
if this
day?
one wasn't planned, that doesn't make
This one
sense.
was planned. This one's like
Oh,
a
okay.
teacher in service day, but I'm like,
Oh,
why
okay.
did we not take this day away
Did-
instead of the
Did your kids
holiday?
have
But
Friday? Did they have a delay Friday? I don't know, because Jenny's up on the lake, and the lake
Yeah.
screws up every weather pattern is different the closer you get to the lake.
Mhm.
And it's weird because like Mike's uncle, who's right on the lake, he gets about as much snow as we do. But if you go like 30 miles south of him, they get like dumped on with snow. So did your kids have a delay on Friday for the fog?
they did not. They really should have.
Oh, okay.
It was really foggy.
I really think they're trying not to
Do too
spend
much.
any more hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a lot.
Well, and
I
Lindsay
woke up
posted
to like 2 inches today,
when I took
but
Sid
it's like mostly melted already.
when I took
although it is
Sid to
snowing again.
work at 5, there was like a light dusting on the car and on the roads and stuff, but it's definitely been snowing all day, and because Stanley's outside, having a puppy party. It's better than mud. I'll take
It
snow.
is. Yeah.
That's true.
Wet
And
paws.
Yeah,
it's been nasty
every time
lately.
Link came in the house on Friday, I had to like wipe the floor down because we like all of the snow had finally melted because although we were in a flood warning on Friday and like over the weekend because of like the ice jams and like the melts,
Yeah.
no flooding occurred. It was okay.
Well,
But I had to wipe the floor every time he came in the house because it was so flippin' muddy.
Lindsay posted a picture on, I think it was on your Instagram,
Mhm.
like of your sunset with like,
Which is gorgeous.
and I'm
And
like,
White Sands. You know what, guys? Every time y'all talk about snow, I'm like, thank God I live where I live. I'm
yeah.
always like so
You can
sad
pretend
that
the
we live
White
so
Sands
far
are
away,
snow.
and I'm like, you know what? I really like the weather here. It was 60 degrees when I went to White Sands, and it looks like snow. Is not snow. You can sled on it. We sled on it. And then it was like the most gorgeous sunset everywhere,
So
It was
nice.
really
which
pretty.
we get really pretty sunsets all the time. Like, I have literally 10,000 pictures of the sunsets on my phone now. I should
literally,
just create a sunset Instagram where I just send sunset pics every
you
day.
should. I
could do
literally have
that.
7,000 pictures of my dogs on my
I do
phone.
too. I'm really obsessed with my dog.
I think I have more pictures of the dog than I have of the kids anymore.
Same.
My dog prefers my husband though.
I mean, I prefer my dogs. Just just
Link
curious.
likes me
That's
the
fair.
best.
Link likes you the best.
Yeah, like so when we go to sleep, he will climb up on the bed, but he'll like jump down and lay on the floor. And then when Michael gets up to go to work, Link gets back in bed.
Ollie, at the moment Mike is out of bed, Ollie gets up and sleeps on Mike's pillows. Now, before he moves, I do pull the blankets up on that side of the bed so that the dog is not laying directly on the sheets or the pillows. Like I try to.
You
Do you
try
think-
and save it.
Do you think Mike Burrier does that for me? No. No, he does not. Because this morning I got out of bed to take the girl child to work and I threw the covers back and got out of bed, put my shoes on, took her to work, come home. Ollie is laying on my side of the bed on top of the covers that I threw back that were not pulled up. So then for the next hour until Ollie decided to move, I did not have covers.
Why didn't you just make him move?
I'm sorry. Have you met Oliver?
Yeah.
I mean, I have.
Big.
Yeah.
He's a big boy and if he's asleep, he's asleep.
This is true. He does sleep hard.
He's a busy guy. Okay. So this week, we're going to talk about books. We have an actual episode planned. But who did research?
Not I.
Okay. Also, did anybody watch the hockey game this
Yes.
morning? The gold
I
medal
watched
game?
part of it.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning for it, and then I had to leave for my workout, and I was like, this better wrap up while I am in this house. And it did.
And it did. It was a
And
good
then I
game.
immediately had to leave.
It's probably the most patriotic I could probably be, was for
I
that
was
game.
I was doom scrolling or later, like this afternoon, and it was like this conversation, and this lady was like, my husband asked me if I watched the men's win. She's like, and how exciting it was, and she made a comment about how the women had won like a couple days ago, and that was like very exciting too. And like their son called him out on the fact that it was herstory instead of history in that moment.
Ah,
It was really funny.
the women's game was really good. I watched that
It
whole
was
game.
such a good game.
Such a good
So
game.
good. And it was very exciting for them.
Yeah.
I
Did you
watched the
see
women's
like the
game.
win, like brothers and their dad, like with their sister after the win?
Yes.
It was so like sweet. I just loved watching them
They were
too.
pretty funny.
Like how excited they are for her.
Yeah. Okay. So we have an episode planned. Actually going to talk about books. So we're just going to start with a question here. When does a romance series go from beloved universe to please let these people rest? That is the topic we're going to cover tonight. Because we're talking about the perfect number of books in a series. What makes a series works for us, and what series will we accept absolutely zero criticism on? Not constructive, not nuanced, not just a thought, zero. These books, this series, we will take zero criticism on. For example, Winterville by Carrie Elks. Nobody can
Nobody
say
says that.
anything bad about that series. It is by far superior than any other series out there in existence. And I said what I said. At me, sister. Let's go. So on this episode, we're going to dive into the art of the romance series. How long is too long? What keeps us invested? And when we go quietly dipping out, and the fictional worlds we will defend with our whole chest. And you know what? It's funny because I can tell you probably which is Jenny's, probably two series for Jenny.
You probably can.
I can guess Jenny's. I can probably guess one of Lindsay's. Leah's, you're probably is the one that's probably the hardest for me to guess. Series without criticism.
Oh, well, yeah.
But I mean, I'm fairly certain I can guess Lindsay's and I can guess two
But I
of
think-
Jenny's.
I think part of mine is my chaos gremlin side. Of
Probably.
chaos.
So let's just start. What is the perfect number of books in a series? And I kind of broke them out and gave them kind of titles a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So the Sweet Spot series for me, 3 to 5 books. After we get past 5 books, I start to wish that it was like a new series. It can be a spin-off, but just a new series. Also, it's hard
So
to keep
here-
track of people.
Well, so here's my thing. I've been thinking about this like since we talked about it. And then I was looking back at series that I really like and series that I love and series that are meh and series that like it depends on how the series is structured for me, how many books can be in it. So if it is a series of standalones that like the world is the same, but there's very little overlap to the characters. I don't care how many books are in those types of series because like Cynthia Eden in her her Icebreaker series, I think there's 12 books, but book 12 does not have some of the characters from the first 10 books. Like the idea and like the icebreaker side of it carries through the books, but they're very much you can jump in at any book. There's no confusion as to who anybody is. So series like that, I really don't care. Now, if there's an overarching storyline, 5, maybe 6, depending on the style of the series. But anything more than that, it's too much.
6 to 9, I call that a book era 6 to 9, you're kind of living in it. It takes time to read a series of 6 to 9 books.
Yeah.
At 6 to 9, I think you have to be truly invested in the world, in the author, in the characters. There has to be something for you to go back to book 7, book 8, book 9 that is like, I'm in it. Do you know what I mean? And then the 10 plus books, I call those legacy series. And a
Yeah.
lot of our authors that we love, that are some of our auto recommends, write those legacy series, right? Carrie Ann Ryan, Sawyer Bennett, they write, Aurora Rose
Yeah.
Reynolds, they write these longer series where it is,
Well, but with Aurora, it's just the second gen series that's longer. Because if you look at any other series that she writes, it is usually 3 to 4 books. The second gen is it's like a one-off type thing for her.
and then, well, except this new series, this other series that's kind of spun off of the next gen series, it's going to be 6 books, 7 books,
Is it? I thought it was only gonna be 4.
7.
Hmm.
And then we have what we call spin-offs. So it can be from the 3 book or 4 book series. We get the spin-off. I think, who's an author you think that does a spin-off really well? I would say A.L. Jackson.
Yeah.
You get
A
like a
snippet.
breadcrumb at the end of one series that leads you into the next series.
Mhm.
Um,
Anna Hackett does a really good spin-off series because you meet characters like throughout, like she kind of drops them in. And so like, but you don't have to be invested as like, and especially her like Alien series, the way that she spins those off is really nice. Stacy says Piper Rain. I agree that they typically do a fairly decent job of the spin-off.
yeah.
Sometimes their series are a little long, but
Catherine Nolan, I think, does a pretty, or not Catherine Nolan. Um,
Kate.
Kate Nolan is who Susie recommended.
Mhm.
Catherine Cowles, I think, is another one that does a pretty good
Yes.
job with giving you a breadcrumb in that last book that is that
Mhm.
stretch over. Carrie Elks does it in Winterville.
Of course she
Well,
does.
not just in Winterville, but like the end of one series will lead into another series, and then you'll get one character from like the Salingers series. You got Franny
Well,
in
mhm.
her current
Well, and we talked
Fitzgerald
about
series.
Adriana Locke in our sip and discuss. She does it like
Yeah.
really well too.
Um, so, Lindsay, what makes a good series for you? Oh,
It's not
God.
next
She's
gen.
got a deep breath.
It's not next gen.
It's not. It's not next gen.
I just okay, like my hot take is this, like if I haven't read any next gen series that I like, I feel like they lose so much steam and I think that like on the whole, I'm really not gonna like those. And as far as like series go, I don't really read many like series anymore. I like
Mm.
really just piecemeal through it because like part of the problem I have with like I don't know I don't know that there is like a sweet spot, but like what I want from a series is like consistency and like a good example of this is Susan Stoker, the Mountain Mercenary series.
Mhm.
Like that series, all of the books hit except the book that's like I forget Harlow's book. And that one like just it didn't have like the same cadence, the same energy as the rest. Like it's the
Mhm.
stalker at the women's group or the
Yeah.
women's home one and it just like it didn't like I get how it ties the story together, but it just felt like so disjointed from the rest and like I felt like usually in a series I feel like there's a lull book or like a book where they're just throwing it in. And like when I was thinking about this and I was like even series that I used to love like Cloverleaf Farms, like there was the fourth book in that series I felt like really didn't hit very well. And then like the fifth book was good, but it wasn't great. And I just felt like that series, like looking back on it, I loved it at the time, but like now I'm like I'd never reread books 4 and 5 because they were
Mhm.
exciting when they came out, but like I don't care about them now. So I think like for me, like if it's like for me to really love a series, it has to be something I'm gonna like reread a lot of the books. And I think there's just not like a perfect series for me,
And I
maybe.
think it's incredibly hard, especially if we start talking like the Legacy series, these 10 book plus. I would even say
Yeah.
7 books plus. You hit the middle of that series sometimes, and there is a dip. We talk about it a lot in publishing that oftentimes book 1 will pop off. Book 2, we call it the sophomore slump.
Hmm.
Typically, a book 2 or a book 3 does not do as well as a book 1. Um, and then usually as you get into book 3, book 4, there's an upswing because you've gotten a rhythm, a
You've got found your
cadence.
stride.
Yeah, and you've built out this book. And it's very rare that you will be, I think it's very rare as a reader, at least it is for me, to go into a book 2 and be like, oh, wow, I like that way better than book 1. I mean, that rarely happens for me. I
Hmm.
I feel like there was one that we had that happen to us with, and now I can't.
I it's definitely happened a couple times. Like like you said, it's not like something that happens very often. It's a rare occasion, but every once in a while, like the book 1 will be good, but book 2, it just really hits and like everything that you need. I can't think of any series off the
I
top of my
can.
head
Go
either, but
ahead. What do you got, Lindsay?
Danica Score Her Heart is book 2 in that series, and that is like the most
yes,
But
Danica's
banger
have
book 2
you
is
read
very
book
her
of
good.
that whole
reread
series.
her rewrite on
She rewrote,
Game
yeah.
On book 1? Have you read book 1 since she
Okay,
cleaned it up?
Score Her Heart is so good, Becky. Like
I
I
Just she will
You're
not take
ruining it.
criticism.
That's
Just
okay, but I'm just
shut up
saying
about
Danica
her.
did
so
rewrite
good. It
book
has
1.
a Vegas wedding. We've talked
I
about
know.
how I just
I know. It's fair. Danica, that book, we know. We know.
Mhm.
I just
It is really good.
even with a rewrite of book 1, like how do you beat that? Like that book, I just
It's
what
that's
book in the series beats that one?
there isn't one in that series. I think well, no. Um
You can't beat it. It's so good.
the Chase, I do like The Chase.
Yeah, that one was good.
Okay, the
I mean, they're
series is
all good,
great.
but
End to end, it's great. But that book is like,
there's something magical about that one. I
yeah.
agree.
Um Jenny, do you have what makes a good series for you? Do you have thoughts on what makes a good series for you?
I think it's changed over time and kind of where I've been in life. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely when my kids were littler and I was reading really consistently, it was a series.
You liked
And
longer
now
series?
it's, yeah, because I would say the sweet spot for me is 6, 7.
Jesus. That's so
Yeah.
Okay.
2025. I was told that today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
So
I work with kids
2025.
and have a lot of them.
No,
But yeah, that's kind of been like the my favorite series that like I would reread still now are all like 6 or 7 books,
yeah.
or they started at 6 or 7 books and then like a few years along the way, like the
Have
author added
added.
another one.
I wish one of the thing with
Yeah.
the
You
longer
get like a 3 book.
yeah. One of the things I wish with the longer series, like I look at Carrie Ann Ryan's, her Montgomery legacy books that she's doing right now. Like the first 3, because they were really tight, those first
Hmm.
3. And then, the next 3, which, because then you had the security team that kind of started coming in. And do I mean like
She could have branched them out and broke them
just
off
put them into like,
differently than she did.
instead of like, it's 14 books. Okay.
Well, even like the Wilders,
Mm.
like that book series is very long. Instead of doing the brothers as one series and the cousins as another series, it's all the same series. And
Yeah.
it's very daunting, especially with the brothers when they're all fucking E's.
Yeah, with the brothers and their E's. So when do we DNF a series or stop reading it? For me, I am fine to take a break. And this is part of the reason that I know that it drives like Amanda wonky. Like she cringes and yells at me when I pick a book 2 or a book 3 for us to read for
Yeah.
a sip and discuss because she likes to read in order.
She does.
And part of why I do that, and Leah makes fun of me when I'm like, it's community service. But, you know, if we're sold a story as being a standalone, that you don't have to read in order, and especially if you're talking a 10-book series, I would much rather read book 5 or 6 and see how it's going,
Mm.
you know, pick it up randomly in the middle, because I tend to find that in these longer legacy series, you lose me at book 7, 8, 9, 10, you know?
Well, and I think part of it is there's sometimes like Melissa Foster, she typically does a little bit longer of a series but there's so many characters on the page that it gets very muddled.
Yeah.
And so like these long series when you're like adding characters and trying to like tap back into the other characters and like that's why like they get a little meh after a while. And like you do kind of have to step back because it's like what like you
I
want
think
new people
that's
in
a
front of you.
fine balance though, right? Like if you're
Hmm.
going to sell it as a standalone series, you have to have enough
Yeah.
to give like the people that haven't read the other books the information they
Hmm.
need, but you don't want to give so much information that the people that have read the books are like,
Well, and
I
it
know.
comes down to editing. It comes down to like one of the things that I'll tell an author is if they're going to write a really long series, one of your beta readers should be new to your series every time. So if you've written book 1, you used a beta reader for that one, and you've written now book 2, you can use books 1's beta reader again as like making sure you hit continuity and all that, but you should bring someone in that's never read that series at all. They could have read previous series by you, but they've never read that series to see if it stands alone. Because like you said, it is a balance to make sure that you aren't overwhelming the reader and the pages are not crowded. I think someone who
I think
go ahead.
I think Claudia Bergoa does this really well because all of her series intertwine
Yes, they
and
do.
she
Hmm.
like there are so many people, but like you can pick up any of her books and read it anywhere, and there'll be like these little pieces from all the other
Yeah.
series in it, but you don't need to know anything about them.
Yeah. Well, see, and I came into Claudia's books late. Like, I hadn't read them previously. I'm getting through them as she's like, well, didn't you read this book? And she's like, sends me an audio code. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm reading this book. God love her. But, you know, like trying to figure out Baker's Creek right now because we're kind of dabbling a little bit in Baker's Creek and all of the intrigue. Because I don't want to spoil it, but it's intrigue that happens in Baker's Creek.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of mystery like with
yeah,
everything
Well,
if
going.
you
she's good at that.
if you
She
like
is.
messy and suspense and you read Claudia Bergoa, that's all I will say
Hmm.
because
She likes messy.
she likes messy and
Well, she likes
suspense
like tragic backstories.
every time. Every time.
But she is one who she occasionally like she doesn't really delve over that 5, 6 book range either for a series. Like
Right.
Jenny said, her series are all intertwined, but they're intertwined in a way that makes sense, but she never really goes over that 6 book.
Well, and I think you can pick up book 4 and you're not lost in her world.
You can, yeah.
And her pages, I don't feel like her pages feel crowded. Lindsay, what's a DNF on a series or a stop reading for you? When they just piss you off?
I mean,
It depends on the day.
it really just depends. Like, I am just a complete agent of chaos with my reading now. Like, tell me to read
That's
book
what I
8
like to
in a
hear.
series of 25 and I'll do it. Like, whatever. I don't want it to be a secret cliffhanger. If it ends in a secret cliffhanger,
He's
There's nothing
done.
worse.
You know, that was something that I was really glad we went away from after, like from 2010 with 50 Shades of Grey to like 2015, 16, everything was a trilogy, right?
Yeah, there were still like 18, 19. There were still a lot of
Not as
trilogies.
many. But now I'm starting to look at like books that are selling and stuff to publishing, and so, a lot of them are trilogies now.
Oh, really?
If it has a cliffhanger and it's crap book, I'm gonna be real mad.
Yeah.
Well,
Like real
but
mad.
also if you don't tell me it's gonna have a cliffy, like
Fucking
Yeah,
that
Kate
that's
is
Bromberg.
yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
I'm
And I want to
so
know how
mad about
brutal it
that.
is now too, because like I just like I've ranted about this a lot, but like who the heck writes the kind of cliffhanger Rebecca Yarros did, and then it's just like I'm going on a hiatus, and then I have another book to write, and then eventually I'll write book four, no date. And I get that her publisher abused her, like pushed her to write all those
Mhm.
books super fast. Don't care, but like
I recognize you were abused, but I don't care.
Yeah. But I need that fucking book
I've
because
been
that
abused
cliffhanger was the
too, is what
worst.
she's saying.
Yes, essentially.
abuse. It's
Lindsay
reader
is a
abuse.
victim.
Like that's not a way to make me like I'm rage reading from now on because I'm obviously invested, but I also hate her.
Well, we don't hate
But you don't
her.
hate her at the same
You
time.
don't hate her
Yeah.
because she
No, that's
actually is
really
a
effective
very,
story.
very
She's
nice
like one of the
human.
I
nicest
don't
human
care.
beings.
That's not a nice thing to
Goodness.
do to people. Nice people don't do that to their fans.
Like,
But for the
Ugh.
Leah and
art,
I are
it is
like,
really
she's the
effective.
nicest
But
human.
so like anyway, I have other friends who read books like that, and I'm like, what's the cliffhanger like? Because if it's not like a soft landing, I don't want it. And I really don't want 600-page books anymore. I'm really mad about that. I don't know. I keep
Yeah.
saying I'm not going to read more fantasy, and then I'm
But
like,
you keep doing it.
I'm like, it's dragons. It's cute. I want to read it. I want to know what
Speaking of
happens.
dragons,
And
did
then
you
I'm
see
mad.
Max Walker's new book that's coming out next month? That's Hockey Wolf Shifters.
I have been, I love him so much. I'm so excited about this book. Um, yeah, I did see it. I've known about it for a long time, and I'm very excited about it. And I need it real bad.
Real bad. Okay.
Karen said, Threaded Lies by Kate Bromberg. That was
Oh,
one
I'm
that we did not
still,
know it was a trilogy.
I have not read book two.
I
I did not
haven't.
read book two, and I will not read book three. I'm very angry. Like, I am Lindsay level angry about that
Well,
because
the
how,
biggest thing is one, nobody knew that it was multiple books.
right?
And once we
don't
found
do
out it
that.
was multiple books, nobody knew when book two was coming out.
There's,
Don't do
I don't
that.
even
Yeah,
think there's a
Does book
published
that's
three
date.
have a date
sucks.
yet?
I don't think so. I heard sometime this fall, but I don't know that there is.
I'll believe it when I see it. And Stacy said she quits when they
Oh,
start to feel the same or she
October
doesn't die.
20th,
Oh,
2026. Um, Tangled Hearts. Twinned Fates, Tangled Hearts. That's a dumb name.
it is not good.
That's a really, really long time to
It
leave.
is.
Yeah, because I
Like,
read book one in 2024. In September of 2024 is when I read book one.
That was a
that's
really
a
long
long
time ago.
time.
Yeah.
For it to be a secret cliffhanger, evil.
And it wasn't
They're the
even
worst.
and it wasn't even like a, oh, like the curtain fade and they fade, the curtain comes down, it fades to black. It was like murder, drugs, blood, bomb kind of vibes. Like it was
I mean,
not
I don't mind a
okay.
cliffy like that if the next book is like right on the horizon. Like if I know it's coming. Well, that's like
Right.
Sarah Bale. I mean, part of it is my fault. But as I was like I started that new Sarah Bale
Oh.
Mafia one, but it's a duology. Had I read the information on Amazon instead of just downloading the book, then I would have known that. But as I started reading the book, like, or I read something in the front matter and I was like, oh, fuck, is this a duet? And then I read something in the
But at
back
least
and it
she writes
totally
pretty
is.
fast.
She does,
I
but
was gonna
also,
ask if like the time between books affects how you approach a series.
100%.
yes.
I am way more likely
N-
to quit a series and be mad if I am reading it as it comes out than I am
No.
if
Well,
For
it's
me,
all
no.
out because I it depends, but like if they can be read as standalone and they're truly standalone, it's fine. Like if I can put it down and come back, it's fine. But
mhm.
if it's like a really long-winded situation, Like with a lot of fantasy books, I'll just quit a series and never come back to it.
Don't you
I mean,
think some of this plays into those of us that I feel like those of us that were reading romance in the 90s and early aughts when it was a year between books. I remember feeling desperate for like the next book in Julie Garwood's Buchanan family series, like desperate for the next book. And it was,
but we were so used to that.
yeah. And so
Like it was normal.
it will be interesting to see, and this will play into our next, what the question that was being asked last week in Discord, that we are now seeing these indie authors that have been picked up by traditional publishing deals, that they're now going to one book a year. And it'll be interesting to see if readers, like Melanie Harlow has not, she was a 4 book a year person, sometimes 5, but you could
She
set
released
your
nothing.
calendar by 1 book a quarter from her.
Yeah.
She has not released a book in 18 months.
Yeah.
By the time her next book comes out, it'll be almost 20 months between her last new book and this book.
Wasn't she also like contractually obligated to not be able to release another book until this one came out?
Yes. So that's the other thing that some people don't realize, that in publishing there will be blackout dates around a release. And because of that, you can't release something indie in that blackout date. Well, because, and I think Melanie's was probably a little bit of writer's block, maybe some demands in life, because she changed some things, some things changed in her life too. She was contractually needed to turn this book in and finish it before she could write something new. And so that would be some of that long time. But, Elsie Silver, she was putting out 4 books a year, right? She's going down to 1 book a year now. Lucy Score, 1 book a year. We got her last book, last May?
I think it was last May.
And now her next book comes out March. We will see it. So it'll be interesting to see if your indie readers stick around.
Yeah, that's what, because I can understand the publishing side of it and why it needs to be done, but I can also understand the reader's point. And
well,
like there's so many other books that hey, shiny.
Right. Well, we're in a saturated market. There are tons of new books coming on the scene every week, hundreds of titles.
Yeah.
And also, so many of these indie authors have trained us that we get a new book every 2 months from them.
Or
and
every
now all
month
this,
sometimes.
Sawyer Bennett, it's a book every 5 weeks, I think. And who knows, by the end of the year, it could be, a book every 3 weeks. But, we're so also used to that. And then all of a sudden you're going to stop and tell me I can't get the next book for a year. It becomes easy to forget them.
The books are very different when they're published that way too, because like with Elsie Silver in particular, like her indie books, like specifically her first series that she wrote, those books were really well written. Like they had a good plot. There wasn't a lot of extraneous content. They had a formula that was very consistent with like the style of Melanie Harlow or like, a lot of the really popular indies. So like her books took off because she started with that format. But then she did that series that came out. I never read beyond book 1, but like all of those books are like 400 pages. Like the last series she did, like all of them are 400 pages. They're really long-winded. They're like more quirky themed than her series were before. And it's just like, I read the first one and I was like, you're not an author for me anymore. Like I didn't read any more in that series. I haven't read anything else by her. And I probably won't because I'm just like, your style is so different.
Well, the
Well,
heart
it's
was
like,
gone.
And I've broken up with many authors. Jenny, you broke up with someone too, didn't you? Did you?
There's quite a few authors that I've
Yeah,
just
like
gone
I
back
had to. Avery Flynn, she didn't know it, but we were on a break for a while. Now we're not on a break anymore because I really liked Anger Bang and what was the other one? The one with all the pink. Anyway, I liked those two books. And so
I know what you mean, but I can't think of the title.
so we're not on a break. I mean, the author didn't know we were on a break, but we were on a break. And there's others that I take breaks from.
But okay, she never finished the series.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Well, it's been 5 years.
What for Anger Bang and the other one?
It's been 3 years,
I thought
which is reasonable, I guess, but it feels like
2
it's been
years. I think it's been 2 years. I think it came
okay.
out in
I'm glad we're
2024.
getting another book. That makes me happy.
I'll tell
But
you.
the
I'll tell
sister
you off
stuff
camera
too.
why there's been a delay. I'll tell you because I know
I don't
something.
care that there's a delay. I just care that I get the book.
Walk
I
of
don't want
Shame
to know.
is the book we like.
Yeah, that series is really good and really enjoyable. And Anchor Bang is like one of my favorites.
No,
You did really like that one.
yeah. But there are reasons, and you'll understand it when I tell you later.
Well, and that's the
I think
thing, like,
that's the thing as a reader, like you don't know those reasons, right?
Right.
And
No.
you don't need to know those reasons, but it does affect how you approach the books.
Well, and Karen brings up Maggie Gates as another one that comes to mind. And Maggie, we had gotten Dust Storm and all those 3 books, and then she sold them. And now they're re-releasing. So we're not getting anything new from her. Even though
No.
she's marketing and releasing her books on the trad level, we might see something new from her in the late summer, I think. And it's like, oh, it just feels like a long time.
It does, yeah.
And it's easy to forget that series. So that's one of the things I do still love about, like, Catherine Cowell, even though she got picked up, A.L. Jackson, even though she got picked up, they've kept their same writing schedule. They do not seem to be slowing down. Same with
That
Sarah
is
Kate.
probably something they had to work out contractually, though,
Yeah.
because I don't think most trad publishers support that kind of schedule. So it's probably something
It
where
is, because like Susan, like she has in her contract where she doesn't have any blackout dates, but a lot of Montlake authors do have blackout dates.
Yeah.
But like you figure Susan released a book last month or this month, she has her Montlake book coming out in March, and then she has another one in April. So blackout dates to mean nothing to Susan Stoker.
But she's also
But
Susan Stoker,
She's-
yeah.
yeah.
she
like
is
she
also
can do
Susan
that.
Stoker, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was something that she had to work into her
Well, and
contract.
Lauren Rowe, that's why she hurried up and released Coming Home, that was
Mhm.
Seabomb's book, because she had a 4-month blackout date before her football book released in January. So, and then
Well, and you figure though, because a lot of like the trad books, like they have to be done at least a year before they actually release. So it's like authors like they can write in that time between when they finish the trad book and when like it's released. Like they have that time and space.
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about these series that you refuse to accept any criticism on. Your favorites that if somebody doesn't like it, they're just wrong. Like Jenny, what might be one of those series for you?
Knitting in the City by Penny Reed.
That's Lindsay's. You can't have that one.
Fine, then Winston Brothers by Penny Reed.
I thought you were
knew it
going to
was a
be the
Penny
hashtag
Reed.
series from
yeah, I'm
Cambria.
like, the one, yeah. Hashtag is
The
here.
things that she has on the shelf
Junkie is
and
here.
nothing
Yep,
else.
yes, exactly.
Knitting in the City was my guess for Lindsay. I feel like Lindsay, I think that's the only series I've never heard you grumble about any of the books in.
because it's perfect.
Okay. It's just perfect. No notes.
It also has a next gen book that she enjoyed.
I recommend that book so much. I
And
recommend
it's
that
always
book so
free.
much.
It's
So
always
good.
free. Perma free.
But you know what? She didn't give the way she handled that next gen, that is very on brand for her kind of storytelling. The reason next gen doesn't work is because usually like the way authors write now, there are many indicators of the date and time. So when you do a book in 2018 and then you turn around in 2022 and publish a next gen series, nobody's buying that it's a 20-year gap. Like you were not listening to Midnights by Taylor Swift in 2018 when it freshly came out and then jumping
That's why
ahead
you don't
20
use pop
years to
culture
like music that doesn't
references.
even exist. Like you can't do that. If you use anything like that in your story, it doesn't work. And people know that. And like the way they do like texting and communication in the books, like it's so hard to do a next gen that sticks. But Penny Reed, I have no like she thinks about that. The way her books are written, they are pulled out so there's like general references to things like I love the intro to Neanderthal Seeks Human where Janie's in the bathroom and she's like, "My life is a sad country song right now," and like you get the gist of like what she's
But no
saying.
song
Like,
is specifically mentioned.
right, exactly, and like she does that, so like her, and then she doesn't force you to read 20 kids worth of books or even like 3 kids worth of books. Like if it's just so hard to make next gen work, and I just
Mhm.
don't like I don't have any situation where I feel like it's really worked. It's fallen flat. Like for every author that I've read a next gen book, it's been
Well, a
so
really
bad.
shining current example is Sarah Kate. You know, her Phoenix Club series went gangbuster bonkers, right? We had Praise, we had Give Me More, Mercy, Highest Bidder. Like they went bonkers. Book one of that series, of the next gen series that took place in France, it didn't hit the Kindle Top
Mhm.
100 in the first month of release. And her next book, her book that came out just 2 weeks ago, still has yet to crack Kindle Top 100. And that's a different series, but I do think that that is something like, I think people are bored in the next gen. Like, give us something new. And I know that you talked about it a little bit, Lindsay, when we did review some of those new Melanie Harlow books that were next gen. The storylines felt a little repetitive to the originals. And it
Very
wasn't
repetitive.
just like drawing inspiration. It felt
Or even like a
like,
parallel. Yeah.
The kids' stories absolutely paralleled the parents' stories for each of the books, and I just
That's what
didn't
I
know.
was gonna say. Like you have to have a complete, I think to do next gen well, you have to have a complete turnaround. Like I always think of Helena Hunning's like Pucked, and then they'll like, what is it, Lies, Truths.
love, lies, and
That
Parts.
one
truth or
worked.
something.
I
Yeah.
agree. That
Because
one
but
worked.
those are two completely different, like almost like written
But isn't, I mean,
differently.
I
They
didn't
were
read
so
either one of those,
different.
but the style in which she wrote those books is very different because the Puck series is
Exactly.
like over the top rom-com and the
Yeah.
bittersweet, those ones are very, they're like angsty young adult.
They're angsty,
I
they're
really,
more
yeah,
emotion.
I really
Even,
Yay,
like
there's a
those though.
thumbs up.
oh, even her prose and writing them, the the beats of the story were different in those than the beats in Pucked. And some of that is evolution of writing, right? Because Pucked was
Right.
some of her first books. And
Mhm.
then we look, you know, she had 20 books under her belt when she wrote that next series. So, you know, we do
Well, and she jumped
expect,
from trad to indie and back and forth, and like she was like really finding her voice. Again, not that I read them, just from what
yeah.
I've heard.
I did read them. I read those and I agree. That is a really good next gen series. But the reason it's good is because one, she didn't give you all the kids. Like
Right.
the pressure that authors get for fan service is
Mhm.
Well,
insane.
I
Like
do
it's
think that,
insane.
well, her current series that she's writing right now, she's it's done. The last book comes out next week. And then she's going into the next 3 books of the next gen because Romero's son is on the Toronto Terrors team now.
Okay. But see, they're
But
spaced
it's going to be
out,
a new
doing
series,
it
though.
in a
Like
way
she's
that
not.
makes sense. And if it's a new series, that makes sense too. It's just like the way they do them, it's like, okay, we gave you the parents' book and now we give you next gen. Like a good example is Carla Sorensen. She goes from the brothers' book and then the sisters aren't that much younger, so it's not as long as a
Hmm.
and you know. Um but the sisters series, it's good. I really enjoy the books, but like they don't all hit for me. Like really the only
Right.
one that stand out is Faked. Like I love that book, but the rest of them, like I can't even tell you about one of them. Like like they're not memorable. Like they don't stick with me because like it's hard again, it's like hard to do like the jumping forward and then when you build a world that's that interconnected, it's not that I dislike any of them. It's just that like for me to really connect with a series, like I have to be able to remember it. And like I
Well,
can tell you everything about Knitting in the City. But like,
but I will say with Carla though, she did like she went to the girls' books, but then she spun into the Wilders, and the Wilder
yeah.
series really hit a lot of high notes.
Yeah, I love the Wilder series. That one's really good. Um, but
So
she also writes like she doesn't just write one thing at a time. And that's the problem I have with like the next gen is because like authors get you can tell when it's a fan service project versus like
Hmm.
a passion project for an
Yeah,
author. And it just gets so messy and it's so like I
phoned
don't
in.
know. Like it's just yeah, it's definitely phoned in. Like Juliet Cross, her Southern Comfort. I don't even think that series is going to continue. I think it fell
I
flat
didn't
for
even
a lot
read
of
that one.
people. I read it and I don't have nice things to
I
say, so
think
I won't.
you read it
But
and then complained about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't need to waste my time on that.
yeah. Um
well, now Zoe York, I don't mind her spin-off next gen stuff because like the daughter spun off and it launched like the Ainsley Booth hockey series
Hmm.
when her from her Restless series that she had as Zoe York. The the daughter from the
But I
first
think
book
part of
spun
it is the
off
way that she writes too, is like she doesn't do a ton of like modern or
current
like
event pop culture
current
kind of things.
events, things like that. She keeps, I mean, there's stuff happening, but it's vague enough, or she uses like generalities in the way things are like things are happening. And so it's like you don't feel that disconnect. And that's part of the problem with some authors who use so many like current things happening, like whether it's music or I don't mind an author who is using like oldies music or like music from like the 70s, 80s that like the people are really interested in because like those are past like music. Like
I would
anybody can
even say
listen to those at
music
any
from
time.
10 years ago is fine.
Yeah.
I would even say
It's
music
just
from
that
5
modern like
years
pop
ago is
culture.
fine, but if you're using if every music reference in the book is one artist or is everything that is currently
Hmm.
trending like the amount of times that I read like, oh, put it on TikTok or whatever in a book, I want to pitch it out a window because yeah,
That's fair.
TikTok has been here for, you know, 6, 7 years, but
Yeah.
we don't know exactly what's happening with it. We don't know, you
We
know,
don't know where it's going to be in
I
5 years.
do like when an author makes a vague reference to Facebook but they won't call it like
Well, but
Facebook.
and I don't mind an author who creates a new name for like the social media platforms
Yeah.
because it's like who like you know what it is, but like it's
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
different at
and
the
then
same
they can
time.
make it into whatever they want,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Like they,
Well,
yeah.
exactly.
because who wants to read Twitter in 2026? Like
Well,
I
I mean,
see the
technically
word
Twitter doesn't exist anymore,
right, but
so
I hear like I read a book and it says Twitter and I'm like, "Jeez, that did not age well." Or he drives a Tesla, really? No thanks. That's a red flag. Um, Leah, before we have to go to the next thing, because we are chatty tonight, what is your series you will not accept any criticism on?
if I don't have one because I couldn't narrow it down.
So there isn't one series that you're like, every book in this was superb and what I needed.
Well, anything that Anna Hackett writes is superb in what I needed, so I will I will take no criticism on anything that she
Anna
writes.
Hackett.
How about
okay.
that one?
When Becky first asked about like what is the sweet spot number in a series, I was like thinking however many books Anna Hackett puts in the series.
But one of hers is 11. Like there are
But
11 books in the like Norcross series.
but is that the wrong number of books for the series?
Well,
No.
no, because it's
It's however,
amazing.
the
It's
answer is
amazing.
however many books Anna Hackett puts in the series.
Yeah, she is an author that I will take no criticism for.
That's fine.
Because there's just something that I mean, I don't love every book as much as other ones, but I don't care because they're amazing.
They're also, you're not investing 400 plus pages into these books.
No, like her
They're easy
longest
to
books
read.
might
They move so
maybe
fast.
300. She's like a 265 sweet spot most of the time.
Love it.
So
It's
we
perfect.
know what Lindsay and Leah's answer is going to be on this question, Jenny. So I'm going to ask you, what series would you reread right now without thinking twice? If I said reread it right now, what series is that for you?
It's nerd.
Hashtag.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I always read that one when especially like when I'm really down.
Yeah.
It's I will admit it's not like over the top like amazing writing or life changing. It's just
But there's something
that's
about
what
it that
yeah, it's works for me.
It's a comfort. It makes you
Yeah.
Yeah.
like happy. It brings you joy.
There's something about this because I hadn't read them, and then you were really like you talked a lot about how much you loved her as an author, and I started reading those books, and there's like a nostalgia to them that hits like
Yeah.
just right, and like they're all pretty consistently written and they resonate. And
well, and the college
so
experience is not the same for every character. Like some live at home,
Yes.
some live in dorms, some live in an apartment. And it felt
Real.
and you feel seen in that series. There is something about it that you're just like, yeah, it works. There's, maybe you don't love a character or love a book as much as you love the other one, but consistently across the board, they are all excellent.
Yes. And then you see like the bad people get what they deserve.
Right.
So
She
that's
does have a
always
little bit of
helpful.
pettiness, which is probably why Jenny likes her a lot. So
His petty pants are the
Um,
best.
right now, I shared this last week. I've been rereading Category but Rena Morgan.
Yeah.
Anything Rena
That's
Morgan,
weird.
Menahaven. I know that series is not for everybody and not everybody loves those books. And that's fair. That's fair. You don't have to. For me,
Just
there's
don't tell you about it.
yeah, just don't tell me about it. There's just
Those are such good books. She is such an amazing author.
yeah, there's just something about those books that when I read them, it's easy. It's comfort, Anyway, okay, is there anything else about series that we need to talk about before we go into, the next thing? No? Okay, read Winterville. Okay. It's that time
It's that time
for Book of the Week. Book of the Week time, Lindsay. What's your book of the week?
I have read nothing I like this week.
Do you have a book you want to fight?
No, I feel like there has to be something about it that is memorable for me to want to fight, and I just like
So
to
it was a
forget.
bad
It's
week.
not like a bad week. It's just like the most I read a book club. Well, I'll tell you about my book club book. I read The Odds of You by what is her name? Do you remember her name off your top?
No, I don't.
No.
This is
it-
how memorable the book is. And I go,
No, was it Kate
Odds of You
Daniels?
by Kate Dramis. And you know what
Dramis.
I said at book club?
No, we don't.
I
Why don't you tell us?
said that for a girl who has the opportunity to get with her movie star crush or whatever the situation is, instead of, the kiss and him being like, you're a mistake, they could have just like gotten together then, because like that would have been way more realistic to me than, the slow burn situation with this, allegedly hot movie star actor who's like attracted to her. And you know what? That was my whole takeaway on the whole book.
Don't you just hate it when you read a book and you just want to be like, just fucking do it? Like,
Honestly,
just
I was
do
just
it.
like, when they kiss and he's like that, I was like, why did you write a whole book about this douchebag? Like, that's not a redeemable quality. Like, the only
Ugh.
good thing about the book is that it had a pretty edge.
Okay. Lindsay's in it for edging. Um,
The sprayed edge.
edging.
I
Leah,
mean,
what was your book of the week?
a good edging is always good too. My book of the week, because I read like 2 books, um, Dance of Monsters by Jagger Cole. It is unhinged in the best possible way.
Okay.
Like there's primal play, there's some knife play. It is not a Jenny book by any sense of the word.
Not one thing you
Um,
said made me think it was a Jenny book.
it is like the antithesis of what Jenny should be reading.
I know
But
nothing
yeah,
about this. I know
he's a
no.
little bit of a psycho. There's some things going on. She's a ballerina who's trying to help her father. There's mafia, there's secret societies that aren't so secret. It just was delightfully crazy.
Okay. Okay. Jenny, what was your book of the week?
I read a YA romance, just kind of see what the kids are reading.
Mm.
Why do you
Lights
sound
Out.
like a grandma now?
She really does. I mean,
I read Lights Out by Jenny Fletcher. It was book 2, I believe, in a series, which that didn't bother me. But I don't know. There was like no connection between the main characters. Like they both had overarching storylines and found some semblance of like where they should be in life, but there was like nothing between the two of them. So I
Yikes.
got to the end and I was just like, eh,
Okay.
okay.
I did not have a book of the week. This was just, but
it's been a week.
I'm playing.
I feel like I say that every week.
Right now it feels like that, but I'm playing some killer Animal Crossing. I've tried some different audiobooks, but you know, it's Animal Crossing is winning.
I did read a good nonfiction book,
Oh, what'd you read?
Unbearable.
Oh.
It follows the story of 5 pregnant women in the United States and about the healthcare they receive. It's not a comforting story,
No,
but
doesn't sound like
I would
it.
think not.
Yeah, but it was
Now,
don't
I
know.
have been listening to a ton of podcasts. Betrayal, it's bonkers. If you decide you're going to listen to it and you have triggers, please message me specifically about season 5, which is the current season. And then I did watch the documentary, the America's Next Top Model documentary, and there's a really great podcast that came out last fall about the behind the scenes, and they actually have Tiffany, an interview with Tiffany on it, which is the one that Tyra screamed at.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah,
I couldn't remember which one she was.
that was
'Cause
Tiffany.
I did watch a lot of that one.
Stacy says those young whippersnappers.
Yep.
Okay, so make sure you are back here Wednesday night. We have special guest author Ashley Bennett joining us to celebrate the re-release of Muscles and Monsters, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the YouTube. It'll be in your podcast feed later that evening or first thing Thursday morning. One of the things I'm interested to find out about her is she's one of the few that sold the books to Trad. She took down the indie releases. So it's been off of for sale since she sold it, and now it's being re-released, which is a little different. That's not typically how it's happened.
Yeah.
So, and I did read that, but it was a reread for me. Not much has changed. There definitely was some tweaks, but not much has changed. But it was a delightful read. We love monsters.
We do.
For a list of books we talked about this weekend, please visit our On the Shelf show notes at buzzingaboutromance.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media for more updates and join our community of romance enthusiasts. Before we say goodbye, I do want to mention Sawyer Bennett announced yesterday that she is now co-writing a series with Bill Keenan. He was our guest here during our heated rivalry discussion. He and Sawyer have teamed up to write a new hockey series. More information coming about that. Make sure you stick to our social media. We'll have an announcement in the coming weeks. And then they're both going to come on to the podcast and chat with us. So Bill's not going anywhere. He's kind of stuck with us.
Oh, hey, we warned him.
We warned him. Did I tell you that he looked up the vat of lube? And like he started reading the 1-star reviews on it. So like, you know, we've made an impression.
He was a lot of fun.
He is a lot of fun. So he'll be back, but I'm really excited for them. They have this new series. So make sure you're following them on socials and us on socials, and we will give you the current information about what they're doing together. Again, if you love this episode, please leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform and share it with your friends. Your support helps us bring more exciting content to you every week. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and joining us for this episode. Until next time.
Happy reading, everybody.
Find us on Instagram at Buzzing About Romance or on Twitter at Buzzing Romance. If you like the podcast, please leave a review. If you'd like to support us directly, join the Bookcase and Coffee Patreon and receive exclusive content only available to Patreon members. Check out bookcaseandcoffee.com for our on-the-shelf show notes.